movies like Succubus, Hellbent should be schlocky successes. This film, the way it looks, the way the DVD case looks, the way the back of the case looks, just look at how bad that looks. Screen media and all this other schlock here. We have Gary Busey, we have a bunch of sleaze and look at this, let me read a little bit of this. I don't normally do this anymore. When a fiery hot demoness follows Adam home from a wild spring break trip, this ultra-rich playboy's life is turned upside down. The body count is rising as Lilith, hell-bent on payback, uses all her power and passion to exact her revenge. Jam-packed with smoking hot girls, faster cars, and faster jets, Succubus Hell-bent is a sexy mix of obsession, evil, that will leave you breathless. You know, that type of thing with all this other stuff here, Spring Break, this feels like the epitome of the 2000s dude bro college movie. The type of thing that is chock full of bare skin, parties, drinking, lots of dude bro college mannerisms, the type of stuff that you go and you see all that skin and you go, whoa! You get to see all sorts of soft core scenes and maybe a little bit of that party rock music that the college kids were banging into with some Sum 41, all that cool shit. Back in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, with Gary Busey showing up for 5 minutes because he's awesome. But no, Succubus Hellbent wasn't one of those movies. It is only disguising itself as one of those movies. It does have actual practical jet effects, which is actually surprising. But here's okay, this one is an interesting behind-the-scenes story that we don't often hear about. Succubus Hellbent, with the jets, there was a crash, a practical crash that happened during filming. One of the jets crashed, and 2 pilots were killed. They died. And there was a whole schmuckle about that. And I think even the crash that killed them, that scene, I think, is in the movie. So when you see that happen, those people are dead. They died. Real actor pilot mans died. For Succubus Hellbent! No! Nobody should die for this movie. Nobody. This movie was an absolute disappointment. It's schlocky at best. It's funny at times. It's almost like it's trying to parody the Dude Bro College movie. It's almost trying to parody that type of aesthetic, which is probably why all of the sex scenes are dry humping with their clothes on. This is not a movie you would put on as a B-roll at the drive-in with all sorts of schlocky slashing. You know, even the violence is not. You don't even get too many practical gore violence effects. This is the type of movie they would put on at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday on Spike TV, and nobody would watch it because nobody's home. That's the type of time period on the type of channel that this movie would be put onto. The highlight of the movie is clearly Gary Busey's arrival. Gary Busey is playing a character that should probably get his own TV series or movie series about, where he plays this supernatural hunter, and he's got this kick-ass truck that they probably gave him as payment to be in the movie, and he's got all sorts of vampire gear, werewolf gear. He's named his sword, which is also kick-ass. They probably let him keep that too. Gary Busey just came on set and said, I'm keeping this outfit, I'm keeping that truck, and I'm keeping this sword. And they just said, okay, Gary Busey, you can take that. And he said, I'm still getting paid for this role, though. I'm still getting paid for that. I'm just taking this truck, too. And they say, okay, Gary Busey, you can have that. You can have the truck. And Gary Busey says, don't forget, I'm taking this truck. I'm driving it home. I'm driving this truck home. And he's gonna tell you all about that. He'll tell you all about how he's going to take that truck. They're going to give him that truck, and he's going to tell that story to people for years and years and years later. And so that's probably how they got him on set. He just wandered on set and said, I've taken that truck. And they filmed it. He probably really is a supernatural demon hunter. That's probably actually his real profession. They just filmed Gary Busey naturally. It was just Gary Busey, the character. That was probably what they did. But that's the very, very entertaining. It's the highlight of the movie. And everything else is kind of, not as entertaining. If you want a very fun dude bro, college schlocky spring break supernatural violence movie, do not watch Succubus Hellbent. Instead, watch Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. That's a very long series of words, so I'm going to say it again. Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. And so while that's a long movie, but watch it, you will be rewarded. It is far better than Succubus Hellbent. Both of them are very schlocky, poor film quality, bad camera, very schlocky and cheesy acting. But one of them has very fun violence, very fun skin contact, and all sorts of schlocky stuff that you would expect of a movie of this caliber. This is like the movie you take to meet your conservative Christian parents, and they say, "Oh, that's a little bit too risque," Look at that, you need to pump that up, and so you feel a little bit of a rebellious with that family. Feel a little bit rebellious watching this movie. You feel just a little bit rebellious with the mall goth look, and you feel like you're really stepping out there. You feel like you're really getting out there and all that stuff. When really the true rebellious would be Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. You never show them that movie. You would never, ever, ever, ever even tell them that movie exists. This would be the mall goth movie. It's whatever. Watch it for Gary Busey. Watch the Gary Busey scene, then turn it off.